Hey guys, this is Aaron, and along with me is Peter, aka Me Tank, and I'm here to talk about the ballistic app we use that a lot of y'all have been asking us about. What ballistic app do we use and stuff on my phone and stuff, and it is Strelok Plus, and I'm gonna be doing a review on it today, and just to give you more info on it. Alright, so when you open the app, this is what you see when you open up the menu screen, the settings screen, and as you can see right here, it says change rifle. You have 10 folders for 10 different rifles, which is a generous amount in my opinion. I mean, I don't think everybody or a lot of people have 10 different long range rifles. So, and you see I got a few of my rifles I use for long range shooting, and I got my air rifle, which is what I have selected right now. And Air Arms S200, you can title them whatever you want. And then right down here you got the scope specs, and as you see, 20 yard zero sight or scope height, 1.9 inches above the bore, adjustment measurements both for vertical and horizontal adjustments are both 0.25 minutes angle. You press this, you can choose mils, inches, or centimeters. Mine's MOA, so I chose MOA. And then this is probably what Strelok has that beats almost any ballistic app out there, in my opinion, is the reticle selection. You have hundreds of reticles to select from. Whoops. And so you have all the way from reticles, all the way from like something like Alpine Optics or something like that, from the very beginning, all the way down to Zeiss and stuff like that. And it's not just BDC or mil reticles or MOA reticles. It's also just even crosshairs like duplex reticles and stuff. So I mean, you got tons of reticles to choose from. I have in my scope a mil dot reticle, and I chose mil dot U.S. Marine Corps. And then the next section down, you have your zero wing weather, which I leave set to its standards on air guns. Firearms is a little more important that you use this due to ammo temperature and stuff like that. And then my ammo, I have set up for the ammo I use, which is JSB Exact 17 cal 8.4 grains. Got the weight, ballistic coefficient, muzzle velocity, and at temperature, which is set at 88 right now. I got another thing cool about the Strelok app is you have 10 folders for ammo too for each gun. So you got a whole bunch of different ammo you can save in there, just in case experimenting with hand loads or just with different ammo. And then let's close this, and now let's show the basic, I guess the HUD of what you see whenever you're using this app. You have your distance, which you can put in, and you can change it to metric stuff too, so it doesn't have to be imperial. So let's just say 65 yards, and then the angle we'll just leave at 0. Say the wind's coming at about 5 miles an hour, and then let's say the wind direction's coming at, I don't know, let's just keep it simple, 90 degrees. And then you press calculate, and it gives you your drop, your come up, and your hold over or hold for windage in MOA, mils, inches, or in clicks. I'm using the MOA system for elevation because my turrets are adjusted in MOA, so 8 3/4 if you round it for windage, and about 1.8 mils for wind if I'm in a hold for wind because my reticle is a mil dot reticle. So really accurate, really simple. You can also go to your table, your ballistic table, and it gives you your drop, and I have it set for 5 yard increments all the way out to 150 yards in MOA, and I have it set for windage holdover in mils, since I use the mils for holdover, and so that's really neat too, and that just gives you a general setting. And I have it set for right now 5 mile an hour wind, and then you can go settings and tweak it up for how much distance you want between each drop and everything. And then additional info, this is really neat too. So say I was looking at a rabbit, taking a rabbit out at 65 yards, I can go to additional info, and it will tell me my muzzle velocity. They'll also tell me the velocity at the target at 65 yards roughly, so it'll be generally around 576 feet per second. And it'll also give me the energy I'll have at that distance to take out that animal. For a rabbit, I believe it's somewhere around a minimum of 4 foot-pounds, and I have about 6 foot-pounds of energy left at that distance. So that's plenty to kill him as long as I make the shot. So that's overall what you get with this app. And then also you have your reticle, which is really neat. You have your holdover, and for the distance you type in, say like I have 65 yards, for each mil dot you have how much wind you have to hold over for that distance. So for a 2.8 mile an hour wind, so around a 3 mile an hour wind, you'd have to hold 1 mil. with a 90-degree wind at going about 3 miles an hour. Then if you press that little green dot on top, which it doesn't do it for all reticles, it does it for the mil dot reticle, it'll give you, say you sighted in at the very top mil dot, your drop all the way down, which is another neat feature. And another thing you can do is change your targets. Go to settings, go to target type, and you get all these different targets. I just use this standard circle target, and you can change the size of it too. And then you can also change whether your scope's a first focal plane or a second focal plane. My scope's fixed, so I could use either or, and the fixed power scope. And on like my 300, I have a first focal plane scope, so I'll just check that off and use it as first focal plane. So very neat features. Another thing I like about this app is it has trajectory validation, which we'll give you an example of. And you just go out, set your target up at, let's say, 65 yards. You dial up to what it says, which is 8 3/4 minutes. You fire and you hit high, say a minute high. You come down a minute, and you put it in your app that you had to, only come up 7 3/4 minutes. You calculate, then it corrects your velocity, and it corrects all your trajectory come ups for every single shot at any distance, which is really cool. And we'll give you an example outdoors about that. Alright guys, now I'm just going to give you a demonstration on trajectory validation. I actually kind of have to because I put a lead dust collector on the end of my gun, so that could affect my velocities that I had prior to doing it. So here we go. Alrighty, right now with the velocity I have preset into the app for my air arms, which is 820 I believe, what I chronographed. Let me get a range real quick. At 44 yards, it's telling me to come up 2.5 minutes for elevation. And see if I hit anywhere close to what it says. Alright, here we go, fire in the hole. Alright, it looks maybe about quarter minute, half a minute low. Let's take another shot. I'm aiming for the orange sticker, I didn't hold enough for wind. Oh, I blew the sticker off. Alright. Looks like I'm spot on. Maybe just a quarter minute low. Let's try another shot, aiming for his head. Yep, I'd say I'm spot on now. Alright, so that wasn't that bad. Trajectory validation will do that sometimes. Alright guys, we just came back in from doing the trajectory validation, so now I'm going to plug in my new data. Alright, so the target was at 44 yards. It said I had to come up 2.25 minutes. I only had to come up 2, so we'll just put in 2. We'll calculate, and I'll give you my new velocity, 840. And I'll give you a choice to use this velocity or just scrap it, which since I did my trajectory validation, I'll use this velocity. Now that either means my gun's shooting at 840, or it means that my adjustments on my turrets are slightly off. So I'll just, in my opinion, it's my velocity was a little off from using my chronograph, so I'm going to say the velocity is actually right around 840, and it'll also autocorrect all your holdovers. So that's a really neat thing about trajectory validation on this app.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and found it informative. It's a topic which we've gotten a lot of questions about. So if you have any more questions or if we missed something, please let us know in the comments. I'll be checking them a lot for this one. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I do have a couple announcements though. One of the announcements is that we're planning on live streaming air rifle shooting. So it's something a little bit different. I've never heard of anyone doing this. So what our plan is that we're going to use webcams as scope cams. So we'll have 2 webcams, 1 on each scope, and we're going to have 1 webcam just, I don't know, filming us or something, but it'll be really cool, and I would like to know what would you guys think about that. Would that be something really cool, something what you'd like to watch? And if that is something, you could follow me on Twitter for any updates, like what dates or what day we're planning on streaming on. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.